Final Draft of Translation, Act 1. Since the American School for Deaf closed, many institutes have opened around the nation, but have struggled to know which way to teach deaf children. First, there is the methodical approach, next, teaching English, and last, natural sign language. We'll see what happens. Methodical order signing needs to be used in schools. Children need to be taught to think in English word order. If we sign methodical, it will be so confusing. But if we use the methodical approach, it will help signers learn the right English order. Sign language has blossomed due to the deaf community and deaf teachers. If deaf people learn their natural sign language, they will be punished to live a life of confusion and poverty. Doesn't matter, hearing teachers have tried everything, but sign language is the natural language. The debate continued until 1835, when ASL finally became the way to teach deaf children. ASL instruction continued to change, but deaf children have grown to be successful since. This room is nice. I like the pictures on a wall, don't you agree? Oh, thank you. Did you make the coffee? Yes, it's my coffee. Actually, have you been to the cafe nearby? It's quite a busy place and seems to be a successful business. Yes, I've been many times. The food is good and also a good place to meet a lot of deaf people. Yes. I go to the coffee shop to study and we'll finish around 4. There's a similar place in Martha's Vineyard. What's Martha's Vineyard? It's a great place in Massachusetts. Many deaf people live there, both hearing and deaf sign. I recently went to Martha's Vineyard and experienced both hearing and deaf people socializing together. It was very enjoyable. There's a church there whose priest signs. There's a lot of farmland, children go out to play, and the parents will call them over by using sign. Wow, signing all the time seems wonderful. We can plan it out the next month to visit. As you can see, deaf people live well, but it was a sad day in 1859 when a man addressed a new concept about evolution, which affected the deaf community. Hearing people began to look down to the deaf community. This man's name was Charles Darwin. I will explain my theory of evolution. Over time, people have evolved from monkeys to humans. The emotion of feeling, muscle, and speech differentiate us from primate to human. A man born deaf is still considered a primate. Is he talking about monkeys? I think so. We need to teach them how to speak and communicate correctly. Sure, it's going to be hard, but it's important. Deaf people are frowned upon due to their form of communication. They need a formal kind of sign language. Their sign language is no different to a dog. Excuse me, sign language and facial expression is a God-given way of communication. Facial expressions allow a person to their emotions. Sign language allows certain groups to be able to express themselves and communicate better. Right, when communicating with someone and using facial expression, it allows opportunity for feeling and spirituality. Expression is not a gift from God. It is not a human trait. Facial expressions are not used to connect with the spirit. Facial expressions come from the animals, from our past. Human beings are the most dominant life form for their ability to use their voice to communicate. God is connected to human beings. This is God's gift. It's inhumane. It's expressive. Don't use facial expressions. It's a natural language. It's inferior.